Surely, I mean, they charge us $1.50, but surely it doesn't cost $1.50, right? You know,
yes.
I mean, the fast track costs at least $500 million, right?
Yeah.
So just for a special lane from New Britain to Hartford. So they created an extra lane from New Britain to Hartford, but many people, I believe yourself included, don't believe that they could have added an extra lane or expanded the highway in any kind of way to make it more convenient for vehicles, for private vehicles, correct?
Well, because of the cost.
Right. And the cost of just the fast track, just for a bus from there to there, is $500 million.
Oh, you're talking about the subsidy?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yes, there is a subsidy. All public transit in America is subsidized. Amtrak is incredibly subsidized.
Right.
Because as a society, we realize how important it is to reduce the use of private automobiles. And so as
Why?
a society, for pollution reasons. It's incredibly expensive for an individual to have a car. Cars are isolating. You get in your car, you drive to work, you don't see anybody, whereas buses and public transit are socializing. So there's a whole bunch of benefits to public transit.
Sure, but surely if people like those things of not having a car and driving on a bus and being around a lot of people, don't you think public transportation would be up and people would prefer that?
Well, because it is inconvenient. Again,
right.
If it's not convenient, you won't use it, and if it's inconvenient, yeah, so I'm repeating myself. So public transit is not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There are some people for whom it's a no-brainer. There are some people for whom it just doesn't work at all, and then there are a lot of people in between. That have to be maybe given an incentive to use public transit, such as by subsidizing costs, which is what governments do.
And there's another aspect to not only incentivizing people to take the bus, but also disincentivizing the people who have a car, like increasing the gas tax, correct, or increasing the car tax, and that will make people forced to go on forced to go on public transportation.
Well, it doesn't force them any more than subsidizing the price forces them to. It is an incentive. It's carrots and sticks, and in my opinion, any social policy, any law, but any social policy, any objective should have a carrot and a stick. Cover both ends of not the spectrum, but both ways to achieve the goal of, in this case, getting more people to use public transit. You do it by making it more expensive to keep your car, but also less expensive to use public transit.
Well, yes, and that's but don't you think people should decide what they want to do with their own money, and not a group of people deciding, well, we're going to decide this 1,000 people, because obviously if you're asking 16,000 people or whatever 1,000 people to get off the highway, it's not the person that can afford a rise in the gas tax, a rise in the car tax. It's obviously the people that are just managing to pay for these things. So if you increase it a little bit, then that will force people to go on the public transportation. Is that not a goal of the state?
Well, the state always spends people's money in ways that they may not like to. If you're a pacifist, you spend a lot of money, a lot of your tax dollars go to war, which pacifists are object to. Money gets spent on all kinds of programs and regulation that don't benefit everybody, but we pay for it. I don't have any kids in school, but a lot of my taxes go to Bristol schools because I recognize that it benefits society, even if it doesn't benefit me personally, and I think that's a good example. Yeah, it's if gas taxes go up to pay for other things that the government needs to spend money on, well, then that's how governments operate. They collect taxes on everybody and spend it on programs that government thinks are important for all of society, but not necessarily for every individual.
Okay.